I saw Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere tonight, directed by Scott Cooper and starring Jeremy Allen White as Bruce Springsteen. I guess I'll tell the story of the movie as a whole first. This movie was announced, I think it was January or early on last year. And I don't know if it was announced by Bruce Springsteen or if it was announced, or right off the bat they said he was going to be involved. But anyway, you knew the entire thing was going to have his blessing. He was going to be involved in, not the writing, but like I said, the whole thing's going to have his blessing. And that is a complete deflation of the balloon. With these music biopics, if they're going to be interesting at all, then you can't have the artist involved at all. If these stories are worth telling, then odds are the artist isn't going to want to actually tell the story. That makes a movie compelling. So right away, and also I'm not a Bruce Springsteen fan, really. So right away, and music biopics also suck. Everyone knows that. Nobody likes music biopics. There's nobody that's like, oh, nice, they're making a Bruce Springsteen. I'm sure there's people like that, but it's like, oh, I can't even think of one that's in production right now. Anyway, they're making a Stevie Nicks movie. That's cool. I think they're doing that. No, that's not. None of them are cool. Anyway, moving on. And then pretty quickly along the process, Jeremy Allen White was cast, and I really don't like Jeremy Allen White much at all. Actually, I'll take that back. I like Jeremy Allen White. I liked him a lot in The Iron Claw. I liked him enough. He's probably my least favorite of the four brothers. That's beside the fact. The Bear is good. I liked season 1 and I think maybe 2. But I don't know, like looking back after I actually stopped watching it, I feel like he's just kind of a mope. I don't know if I have like black colored glasses on looking at it. I'm like too cool for school now that I stopped. But yeah, The Bear kind of just sucks, and I feel like it's not because of his performance, but he's not doing the show any favors. So when he was announced as Bruce Springsteen, it's like, oh geez, they're getting this boar from The Bear. I mean, I'm not going to call it The Boar, but actually I will. That show is The Boar. This is not The Bear. This is not The Bear review. This is about the Springsteen movie. So yeah, and also with these movies, people always talk Oscars. People are like, oh, Jeremy Allen White's playing Springsteen, start engraving that Oscar now. When Rami Malek is like maybe the only one that's actually won. I don't have the numbers in front of me, nor the names, but off the top of my head, like Chalamet didn't win, Austin Butler didn't win, Taron Egerton didn't win, like going off recent ones. I don't think I'm reading, but these are all off the top of my head. Those are the only ones I have. Joaquin Phoenix won. And then after that, I feel like everyone was kind of chasing him. And then they got it again with Rami Malek. And maybe everyone saw, all these studios were like, oh, if Rami Malek won with a pretty shitty performance, maybe if we get a halfway decent performance in a movie that's just at least not offensive, then maybe we'll be able to win one too. And that just hasn't worked yet. So when people started talking that way with Jeremy Allen White, and also I don't think Jeremy Allen White is an Academy Award level actor. So this movie was, I hated it from the start. I was rooting against it the entire way. And then the trailer comes out. Who knows when? When is not important. And it is absolutely hilarious. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna cut away to the trailer. You know what? I'm gonna try to cut away to the trailer. There's some absolutely hilarious lines in the narration that they even cut out from the movie, which I can only assume is because everyone on the internet was dunking on the trailer so much because of how terrible it looks. They had to put out a new one like 2 weeks later, and we're like, Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere. Full trailer is finally here. Like, nope. We saw the shitty one, the hilarious one, and we all laughed at it 2 weeks ago. And we're all laughing at your movie right now.
So devil rock star, I do know who you are.
Well, that makes one of us.
I'm going to tell you a little story. When Bruce was little, he had a hole in the floor of his bedroom.
Me and her for
The floor that's supposed to be solid, that you're supposed to be able to stand on.
people
Bruce, he didn't have that.
from the dead.
Here's at the New York Film Festival, which for those who think that doesn't mean anything, it really doesn't, I guess, but it does. That's like, it's not, yeah, that is like the lowest level of the big time festivals. Like, that's like, there's probably 4 big ones in the fall, and that's like an easy 4. So it's, or no, I'm actually lying. It premiered at a different one. I'm not even going to get into the festivals. But when the reviews started coming out from the festivals, you could tell something stunk here. There was the good reviews. It was like, oh, it's like for Bruce Springsteen fans, you're going to love it. Or Jeremy Allen White is a tour de force, the performance of the year. Which people, there's 50 performance of the years at every single festival. And then there was also plenty of bad reviews, which you don't really see a lot at these festivals. It's usually like 95% good. And then anyone who says bad things is like kind of just like made fun of. Not made fun of, but like alienated, especially about a movie like this. Or you would expect about a movie like this, but it didn't really happen. And like I said, you could see through, I don't know why I'm slowing down here. It's like, like I should be rubbing my chin. I feel like an asshole. But like I said, you could see through these good reviews. A lot of them, like the middling ones, were bad, but trying to disguise himself as middling. Like an overall satisfying look at Bruce Springsteen's life, while lacking in story or something like that, and a poor direction. And then people would really only say, hey, but Jeremy Allen White sounded like Bruce Springsteen in that first Born to Run scene, and that's one they put on Twitter to try to get people in seats, which it did not. So yeah, really the only thing people seem to get behind is, hey, doesn't he sound like Bruce? And I saw the movie. He didn't. I'll get into that later, once I really dive into the movie. But the reviews were very warm to medium. I won't go cool, but they were decent, and they needed to be great for a movie like this. And then the movie comes out, and it tanks. I think it made $6 million opening weekend, which is, I'm not going to try to dumb it down. That sucks. $6 million? Are you shitting me? I don't know what place it came in. Again, I should probably start printing stuff out. The printer's on the other side of the basement. Next episode, I'm going to print stuff out. But it completely tanked. I ended up dropping off not much. Like I made 2 or 3 the next weekend, maybe 4. And like it petered out. I think it's at 55 million. Actually, I know that. It's at 55 million right now, and it was a $40 million budget. So like, it'll end up being not a total loss. But I mean, it's a Bruce Springsteen movie. It was a bidding war for the rights. You expect a movie like this to be a phenomenon. Rocket Man was huge. Deliver Me, A Complete Unknown was pretty big. I think it only made like 165. But still, that's at least double. They would be happy to get to 80 for this movie. They would take 80 and walk away right now and be like, oh, what happened? What the hell happened where we got 35, where we found 25 million more dollars from the box office right there? And the result in the reviews after it came out were even worse. The audience liked it less than the critics. The critics clearly had their kids' gloves on because nobody wanted to be the one to say, hey, this thing sucks. That happens a lot with these movies. Nobody wants to say, hey, this screaming, steaming pile of shit smells. Everyone's just like, yeah, there's nothing. Maybe we should open a window, or maybe we should go somewhere else. But yeah, it's fine. Other than that, everything's fine. That's kind of a terrible metaphor. But comparing this movie to a steaming pile of shit is not a bad metaphor. I'll dive into the movie now. I'll go to Alan's. I always refer to him as Alan when I'm going the last name, but I guess it's White's performance. Alan White. The Bear is who he is until he gives me a little bit more. The Bear's performance, it was just the Bear, I guess. He doesn't really do anything else differently. Like I said earlier, they start off with that big Born to Run scene where it's the rock and roll. And Born to Run, I don't want to make this a Bruce Springsteen criticism hour, but like, Born to Run is a big rock and roll anthem. It's like, sure thing, man. All right, I'll let you have it. It's 1982. Actually, no, it's 1980. If it's 1982, let's get a little more than that. Born to Run, really. Where was I? Oh, his performance. And then after that, you don't really hear him. There's like little nuggets of him singing where he really sounds like him, but that's only like when he's doing the big rock and roll ballads. And this movie is about Springsteen writing and making Nebraska, which I believe is an acoustic album. I mean, I just saw the movie. It's an acoustic album, and he like does it in like one room with one guitar and just and the 4-track recorder. This voice I'm doing now, another thing, I'll go on a little tangent, is more work than Jeremy Allen White did for trying to sound like Bruce Springsteen. He was just like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm Jeremy Allen White, but I'm also Bruce Springsteen. How you doing, Faye? Hey, John." He does not sound like Bruce Springsteen at all. I know it's like an impression that people will do where it's like, "Oh, hey, man, hey, how's it going? I'm the boss, man. Just gotta put it on like that, baby." That's terrible, actually. I don't even know what I'm going for there. But still, I think I'm doing better there than Jeremy Allen White did. And when he's singing, like I said, this is an acoustic album, so you're just kind of hearing him sing. It just sounds like Jeremy Allen White singing. It does not sound like Bruce Springsteen. Every single time one of these movies are made, it's like, oh, Bruce's producers were there. They couldn't even tell the freaking difference between Bruce and Jeremy. Which one was singing? They thought it was Bruce. It was Jeremy. Can you believe it? No, I don't believe that. Unless you lied to them, or if they were there for Bruce, they're 150 years old. Because he sounded nothing like him whenever you actually heard him singing. It's just like, I'm not going to try to do a Jeremy Allen White singing impression. And I'm also not going to tell you to see the movie for yourself. It doesn't sound like Bruce Springsteen. And his Oscar chances, it's almost like I had to go see The Body myself. People were saying he's gone. He's completely gone. I have the names here. He's listed. He has the 4th best odds to win behind. It's a complete 2-horse race between DiCaprio and Chalamet. The 3rd best odds are The Rock, which, fine, sure. The 3 other, there's a Brazilian guy who I think is a lock. Wagner Moura is his name. I'm not going to call him a Brazilian guy. He's a Brazilian actor who I think is a lock. Then the other 2 spots are kind of open. I think Jeremy Allen White would be lucky if he's even... I don't know what kind of insult I'm going to go for. He'd be lucky if he gets a Golden Globe nomination. I won't even try to make a joke. Because I'm really not that great. Yeah, his Oscar chances are he has as good a chance as I do at going to the Oscars. Honestly, no he doesn't. Because no, I'm not going to the Oscars. He has as good a chance as I do. And his co-star, Jeremy Strong, he was fine. I don't mind what Jeremy Strong's been doing lately. I only say that because I really liked his performance in The Apprentice. It was kind of really ballsy and out there. And I love him so much in Succession. That was kind of gay what I said about his performance in The Apprentice. That was really lame. And I love him in Succession so much. But between this and then playing Mark Zuckerberg, like, I need more from you, man. I know he's very clearly Oscar hunting. And no shame in Oscar hunting. But Oscar hunt by having incredible performances. Like someone like... the only name I can think of is Chalamet. As far as someone who's clearly Oscar hunting. Is Glenn Close clearly Oscar hunting? I think she's just acting. You can't really take shots at her. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah, if you're going to Oscar hunt, at least take an interesting role. Playing John Landau, Bruce Springsteen's manager, who's essentially just worships every single shoe he's ever stepped his foot in. That's a bad one, too. It's a terrible character. It's a terrible role. It's a terrible script, especially for him. I don't know why he did it. This guy is not even real. I'm thinking at the end, I'm like, this guy, his whole entire existence is just Bruce Springsteen. It's like he worships him. They should almost lean into that throughout the movie. And then 2 seconds later, he says to the guy across from him, in this ridiculous scene, he's like, in this office. I don't know what he was doing, like a weird voice too. So whatever voice I do, if it's weird, it might even sound like him. In this office, we believe in Bruce Springsteen. Like, all right, sure thing, man. I'm sure that's something that somebody actually said. And what do you say when someone says that? Like, sure, dude. Anyway, I'm trying to sell some records. So can we try to sell some records? Could we try to sell some records at this record selling company? Am I right, folks? And there's really no other. No, Stephen Graham as the dad was the best performance in the movie. Actually, The movie flashes back to young Bruce in black and white, which is just so hack. I went into this movie hoping to laugh at it. Like, it was almost like I was going to watch Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox movie. And I think I laughed within the first, 3 minutes. I had a good chuckle. Actually, no, in the first scene, once it starts in black and white, it's completely ridiculous. But that ended up being some of the best stuff. If it wasn't black and white and, I don't know, maybe the color grading was just a little different, then I think I would have appreciated it more. And also, if they gave it more time to breathe, they're in such a rush to get it back to Jeremy Allen White that there's not much time for the kid stuff. The young Bruce stuff with Stephen Graham as the dad is just so easily the best part of the movie. I'd like to see a cut of that all together and see how much it actually goes, see how long it goes. But it's the best part. Sadly, it culminates in the most ridiculous way possible. I'll get into that, I don't know, eventually later on in the video. But the worst part of the movie is there is a created girlfriend character who has a daughter, like a single mom. Like, Bruce starts dating a single mom. Hey there, Faye, you got a daughter? What's your daughter's name? I think it might be Holly. And he just, becomes her dad. He becomes her stepdad. He takes her to the park, to the circus a few times. That's her mom's favorite spot. I'm trying to find the Bruce, but I really don't have it at all. I feel like I usually do have it. Then again, maybe I never do. But this female character, if the story itself is so boring, where you have to introduce a fake female character, like a fake love story, with a daughter, so you're introducing two fake characters just to, visualize that Bruce is sad? We know that he's sad. You know, there's one thing that I think I might have picked up on. I think he might have problems with his father as well. This story is completely ridiculous, and it takes you out of the movie entirely. I guess really only if you know that, but I know it. And every time she comes on, it's like, how am I supposed to believe that? I try to tell myself by the end, all right, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's fake. I can suspend disbelief when I'm watching a movie. But this is Bruce Springsteen. He's a real guy. It's not I'm Not Here, that Bob Dylan movie where I don't even know if I've never seen it. I don't even know if they actually refer to him as Bob Dylan. It's not like it's an inspired by Bruce Springsteen story. No, this is Bruce Springsteen. John Landau's there. All the Saturday Night Live looking actors, Saturday Night Live actor looking members of the band are there in the background. This is a real story. His dad's, they have his dad there. This is a real story, except it's not. Is it or is it not? Is it a biopic or is it not? I always feel like I'm saying biopic wrong, but I've never heard anyone say anything differently. Yeah, that's all I'll say about the terrible, terrible, terrible female storyline. What else do we have here? Oh, I wrote that. I saw this movie with my dad. I'll tell the theater story. So we get there, and obviously it's going to be an empty theater, but it's in one of the biggest theaters there, which I can only assume is negotiated months in advance. Even years in advance from the studio. We want the biggest theater. It's the Bruce movie, baby. That's not what they're saying. We're going to get the biggest theaters for months at a time. But this movie tanked. And it tanked a month ago. So I'm shocked that they didn't just bump it down to a smaller theater. But the collection of fake movies playing here was, I don't want to say ridiculous. You would not believe it. There's Sarah's Oil, Regretting You. Oh, I don't have the list of them. Shit. Brothers on 3. There was some other Crime 101. These are all movies. These are all movies that they claim are real. None of them are real. And when we get to our theater, it says that it's Brothers on 3, Theater 6. I'm like, oh, that must be the wrong one. I walk all the way down and look up on the screen. Nope, it says Springsteen, Theater 6. My dad's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's the wrong theater. It's not labeled right. So we go down there and we sit there. 4:10 movie. We get there. We walk in there at 4:20. Trailers haven't even started. I'm thinking, is there a chance that after a month of this movie, making, I don't know, $450,000 total at the domestic box office, is there a chance they just pulled the plug and they just changed it to something else? But then eventually the movie starts, and the theater was hot. That's the worst thing that a movie theater. No, I can't. Actually, I don't hate that. I was gonna say I'd rather the theater be hot than cold. But, I mean, come on, find a happy medium. That's not important. I said all that. I only went down this hole because I mentioned I saw this movie with my dad. I didn't tell him I recorded this, but I recorded our conversation from the walk out of the theater, I think, until we got to the cars, because we met there. So I'm going to try. I haven't even watched it yet, so I don't know if the audio is good. So I'm going to try to put that in right here. So let's kick it up. I'll set that up. And if I don't do it, then I'm just going to keep going. But let's kick it over to my dad for his take on the Springsteen Deliver Me From Nowhere movie. And then if I don't do it, I'm just going to keep going like this.
Been a little long, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That 10 months later, after he cried for 10 seconds there, that hits like a shotgun blast. You're like, all right, let's get out of here. And then, nope.
Oh, no, you gotta hit the wrap up.
Yeah, now we're going to...
Really, we couldn't fly to California?
Yeah,
How much money were we making?
him and his buddy.
We never really knew that guy's name of who it was.
They just had to drive around together. Nothing wrong with that.
It was good. Right, the album was good. Up to that, I thought.
It was all right. It was like he's hardly like a human being.
Huh?
He's hardly like a human being. So sometimes we'll have the road gets a little tough ahead. We just got to turn those lights.
Toxic cliches.
Yeah,
Let's go
exactly.
for it.
Yeah, the other person's like, all right, well, Bruce, anyway.
That's Scottfield Riverdale.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I heard that girl was like made up. So it's like, what are we doing? Every time she was on screen, I was like, this is just stupid. Yeah, you liked it?
I liked it up to a point.
Like an hour and 10 minutes?
Yes. I like when they show an artist like writing an album. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of creativity that goes into it.
There's a lot of just like him writing stuff down. You really need to
Scratching.
see him writing that in a notebook. And what he's like, double album? Question mark?
Yeah, and then you're like, wait a minute, Glory Days isn't on Nebraska. Yeah, it's like, the more I see of these things, the more I'm glad the Garcia one never got made.
I know, this one especially is
Because it
just
really
very
was, I mean, what are they
paint
gonna,
by numbers.
what are they gonna do to Jerry? You know what I mean?
No, is there a dog in that car? Sounds like there's someone in there. All right, yeah, I'll see you back at the house.
Yep.
Did I turn this around? Wow, that's really riveting stuff. That's the goods right there. Thanks a lot, Dad. Happy to have you on the show. But also, if I didn't add it, I mean, I'm sorry. I did not get lazy. I either ended up not liking how it sounded, or I don't know. I guess it must have just either didn't sound bad. It was in my pouch of my hoodie, so whatever. Leave me alone. Going down the line. What's our overall takeaway from the movie? It was just a giant crocking piece of shit. I hate to say a movie like this, I love to say I told you so, but I said the whole time, I don't know who I even said it to. I guess my brother or my dad. But this movie is going to suck, and it did. I think it sucked. I think that these kinds of movies are terrible. I think that these kinds of movies, when the artists involved, are even worse. And they don't even result in what the ultimate goal is. They don't make that much money. The Elvis movie made like $350 million. Oh, 1 second. I don't think A Complete Unknown was a crazy hit. This movie clearly tanked. And they don't win Oscars. These movies and these actors doing them are trying to win Oscars. I guess the studios probably want money more than the Oscars, but the Oscars help. Bohemian Rhapsody was a huge hit. The nominations come after the fact. But yeah, can we just stop with these movies? I feel like we're running out of artists anyway. There's really not that many. We got the Michael Jackson movie and the Beatles one. Those two are both going to be. Those two both could be. Those 5 movies, those 6 movies. I'm not going to make this music biopics thing. I'm not even going to do that ever. I was going to say maybe I'll do that later on, but no, I'm not going to set aside a video for that. The next thing I wrote on my list was music biopics. No, I'm not going to do that. Jeremy Allen White's career, he's actually set up for some interesting things. Where is it? I have it somewhere here. It was reported today I'm recording this on November 18th. It was reported today that him and Channing Tatum in the same report are being circled for roles in Heat 2. And there's like 10 of just the 10 just it's the guys Olympics rumored to star in this movie. And it's not even like different guys up for the same role. Apparently these guys are all going to be playing different roles, and they're all going to be in the movie. So if Jeremy Allen White can slide into Heat 2 as like the 8th man, he's not even on the poster, maybe his name's there with like an and Jeremy Allen White, or it's towards the end. And if he can have like 8 minutes of screen time, and he's there with DiCaprio and Driver, or I guess he wouldn't be with both of them, or maybe he is, or he's with Driver and Bradley Cooper, or him and Channing Tatum running around, anything like that. I think him being in Heat 2, not as a major player, but as like I said, 8th, 9th, 10th guy, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th guy in the cast, that could be great for him. Because he's like, after The Bear, he's been thrown into this leading man, and going into Springsteen, I feel like he was expected to be this leading man, but everyone isn't a leading man. We do this all the time. We're like, oh, we got our new it guy, and then the guy stars in something that makes, again, $450,000, and he's back to doing the TV show that got him famous. But with Jeremy Allen White, he seems like a nice enough guy. He seems like a smart enough guy. I don't think he's not really even going to have the chances to oversaturate the audience. I don't know if I used that right. I hope I did. I always lose my train of thought when I do something like that. Yeah, I don't think he's going to have the chance to really like be like, oh, could Jeremy Allen White go away? Really only if you're watching The Bear. So I think that Heat 2 could be good for him. And the other movie that I believe he already filmed with Austin Butler is called Enemies. I wrote down the movie so I wouldn't forget it, but I don't have what the movie's actually about. That was when I closed my eyes, I was trying to remember, but that was also just me trying to come up with what I think it's about. It's him and Austin Butler in a movie called Enemies, and it's a crime movie in Chicago. And apparently there was a sick, giant, I put my hands up full frame so you can see, a giant chase scene was filmed. Like the biggest set in Chicago since The Dark Knight I saw. So, yeah. And I mean, I've been called out for this already, but I don't have the director of that movie on hand. But we're gonna get a lot of it. We're gonna have a lot of information next time. We're gonna do it right next time. Next episode's gonna be great. Yeah, I guess that pretty much does it. My final note was Oscar ? And it's just like I said, I think it's completely over. I think it's DOA is all it is. Like right when it came out, it was dead, and I was like, the whole time people were like, this is a lock. People had this a lock to the nomination for Jeremy Allen White and for him to win it. A lot of people were predicting, but I was like, let's see about that. And then once people were saying no way, I was thinking, let's see about that. And I saw for myself, I really think that there's a chance he just strikes out of everything. This movie's just so out of the zeitgeist already, not that it was ever even in it. But yeah, I can't even say a shame, because this movie went exactly the way I wanted to. When this movie was announced, I didn't want it to succeed. And I guess it's no offense to anybody involved, but I think a movie like this failing is overall a good thing. Because for one, bad movies failing is a good thing, in my opinion. And two, the genre of music biopics collapsing would be a great thing. And three, music biopics that are especially boring can be thrown in the trash. And four, music biopics that are so boring you have to make up a female character bombing. Make up a girlfriend to teach old Brucey one last lesson. The fact that that movie completely crashed and burned. I think all those kinds of movies are no good. And in the end, Deliver Me From Nowhere, being the disaster that it is a good thing. Thank you for joining us. I tried to end with something kind of profound there. Let me know what you thought in the comments.